The following is a CN8 Sports presentation.
All season long, these gymnasts have been working on their skills to fulfill the goal of competing in the NCAA championship. Tonight, 6 teams representing colleges from across the United States have filed into Durham, New Hampshire for the chance to complete their dream of advancing to the finals. The pressure will be intense, and every move could make or break their season. The NCAA Northeast Regional Finals is next.
CN8 Sports and the Comcast Network with a very special athletic event, the NCAA Northeast Regional Women's Gymnastics Championship from the Whittemore Center in Durham, New Hampshire on the campus of the University of New Hampshire. I'm Lou Tilley, along with America's most famous and decorated gymnast in history, Shannon Miller. And there is a real buzz here tonight. Almost an Olympic feeling for these young women of college gymnastics. At stake, Shannon, a chance to go to the Nationals in a couple of weeks. 6 teams are assembled, only 2 can move on. Let's take a look at them.
That's right. LSU comes in and the #1 seed. They're currently ranked 3rd in the nation, followed by Oklahoma, who's ranked 10th in the nation. Arkansas at 15th comes in the 3rd seed, followed by host team New Hampshire, Rutgers, and Pittsburgh.
Shannon's longtime coach now coaches the Sooners and has them on the uptick, so she'll give you some special insights into that team competition, but also at stake, individual honors and a chance to go for the gold in the Nationals. And here are some of the outstanding ones, including LSU's April Buckhalter, who has been darn near perfect at times this year.
April was awarded the SEC Gymnast of the Year recently and is currently ranked 4th in the nation in the all-around. Tonight, she's looking to lead her team to their 2nd consecutive regional title and to earn a spot at their 7th national championships. Of course, there's a lot of great athletes here. Oklahoma has Erin LaBar. She came out on fire this year, scoring a perfect 10 in the season opener for OU. She was also named Big 12 Gymnast of the Year and has a chance at her 2nd consecutive national championships. Of course, New Hampshire has their own star. UNH's Amanda Hall. She's earned the top all-arounder performance and the EAGL Gymnast of the Year award. Tonight, she performs in front of a hometown crowd, and she's excited to be out here. Here in the crowd, yell for her.
Yeah, it's a good crowd here. It's a beautiful venue for gymnastics. This has also been the site of the Frozen Four, the Final Four of women's hockey. It's an exciting venue on a beautiful day, and we'll tell you more about what's at stake when we come back for the Northeast Regionals, the Women's NCAA Championships on CN8. Indoor on a beautiful spring day for the Northeastern Regional Championships, the Women's NCAA Gymnastics Championship, and a trip to the finals at stake here. Here are the 4 disciplines that make up women's gymnastics. Of course, the vaulting horse, it's more a vaulting table these days, the uneven parallel bars, and then the beam, where it is so often decided, and Shannon will elaborate in a moment, and the floor exercise, which you're so familiar with. But Shannon, a great champion, a gold medalist herself, explains that inevitably, almost inevitably, it comes down to the performance, whether or not you can stay on the beam. Here's Shannon.
Thanks, Lou. Balance beam is always a tough event, but tonight it could be the make it or break it event for the top 3 teams. LSU and Arkansas have had incredible performances at their SEC championships. LSU didn't count lower than a 9.825, and Arkansas had their 2nd best performance of the season. But Oklahoma will be battling back. Beam has been their best event all season, up until the Big 12 championship, where they had to count 2 falls, dropping them to 4th place. Tonight, they begin on the balance beam, and that performance will set the tone for the evening. Thanks, Lou. Back to you.
So Shannon, with some insights, they get a break as such as Oklahoma gets out in front without the pressure on the beam, and then the rest will have to match. We'll see how it develops. Also, in addition to the team competition, several individuals have qualified for competition here. You see many of them right there. We'll be giving you more detail as we proceed through the evening. When we come back, CN8 Sports with the first rotation. 6 teams battling for 2 spots in the national championships when we come back from Durham, New Hampshire on CN8. So here we go. Very exciting. 6 teams from all around the nation gathering in Durham, New Hampshire. The top 2 teams moving on to the national finals in just a couple of weeks. We call them rotations. The 4 events going on simultaneously. And in the first rotation on the vault, the team from Rutgers, New Jersey State College of New Jersey. On the bars, the powerful squad from the Southeastern Conference and LSU. On the beam, as Shannon has pointed out, Oklahoma hopes to get out to a quick start on their best discipline. And on the floor, Arkansas, another excellent team. And Shannon, this is very interesting, isn't it? All the way from Little Rock, Arkansas, big contingent of fans here. All the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the LSU Tigers are here with good support for women's gymnastics. It's very nice to see. The first competitor for the University of Oklahoma, Stephanie LaPiccolo. LaPiccolo from Melbourne, Australia, just 4'11", and yet a 20-year-old and seasoned freshman. She very narrowly missed being a member of the Australian Olympic team.
And this is a wonderful start. That was her first series. Very difficult moves. And this is really where Oklahoma needs to pick it up. They had a disastrous performance on this event at the Big 12 Championships, and this is not the way to start the competition.
Boy, uncanny timing on your part.
And it's unfortunate. You do see the gymnast doing a lot of leaps, a lot of turns, just like that right there. They may not look that difficult, but when you're doing it on a 4-inch wide piece of wood, it's a lot more difficult than you think.
What's the automatic deduction on falling?
Automatic deduction of 5/10. However, if it's a connecting move, something that's adding bonus points, it could be worth up to a point in deductions.
So you're starting with a score of 10 and then subtracting by various degrees.
Some gymnasts are starting from a 10.0, others are not. You have to actually earn the bonus points to come from a 10.0.
Short program for LaPiccolo.
Here we're going to see her switch leap. Now she's going to do a leap out of this switch side leap, and you can see her shoulders land in back of her hips, which just knock her right off the beam.
And as you've told me in the past, that's tough because when you do the sideways land, you're not able to look down at the beam as a frame of reference. So LaPiccolo, and a tough start for Oklahoma. Arkansas, the Razorbacks, if it were the men participating. In this case, they call themselves the Gymbacks. And just their 3rd year of NCAA competition, they've come a long way. Not wearing their standard fire engine red, but black with silver trim. And this is Dana McQuillan.
And this is a great event for Arkansas. Head coach Mark Cook, of course, as you've mentioned, has only been doing this program for 3 years now, but he is known for being a very good technician in gymnastics.
And McQuillan has been their go-to performer in all 3 of their seasons. Season best 39.1 scored against number 4 Florida this year and combined all around.
She's starting out on the fun event, the one where you get to play to the audience a little bit. Obviously mixing the powerful tumbling with those dance moves and some dance and expression. The judges want to see that you know how to dance and that you're out there having fun.
And she's a seasoned performer, even though just a junior. Local fans watching on the CN8 network will know her from her birthplace, West Orange, New Jersey.
She will be setting up for her final tumbling run. So far, a pretty solid routine. Closing with a round-up double pike. A huge ending tumbling pass.
Very artistic performance by Dana McQuillan, trying to get the Arkansas Gymbacks off to a roaring start.
A lot of these gymnasts are learning these types of double back moves while they're in college, not as younger athletes, because the program is so new. And closing with the double pike, as she did right there, is very difficult.
All right, now pay attention to the crowd noise performing in this first rotation on the uneven parallel bars in the deep blue and black. And you can see it there embroidered, the LSU Lady Tigers, and a huge contingent of fans to watch one of America's greatest gymnasts here. April Burkhalter is hitting 4th in the lineup here, but she is clearly the #1 all-around gymnast about to perform on bars.
And April is really looking to take the title tonight. She's actually ranked 4th in the nation. So not only is she trying to help her team get to a national spot, but she's also individually vying for the top 3 in the nation.
Burkhalter has nailed 11 10s in her junior year and 6 in this season as well. Waiting for the go-ahead from the judges to begin. She's the 4th performer for LSU so far.
And what LSU really needs to do tonight is just stay clean and consistent.
LSU, we should point out, along with Arkansas, competing in the very experienced and competitive Southeastern Conference. So this kind of pressure is nothing new to them.
You can see she's hitting those handstands very nice. Perfect form, legs together as she does a ginger. Her first big release move. There's her second big release move from high bar to low bar. Again, perfectly pointed toes. Judges looking for that continuous swing right into the dismount. Huge double layout.
Wow.
Tiny step, but a great start for April.
She is a terrific looking athlete, and you see some of the LSU crowd that traveled up here to the New England area from Baton Rouge, a very different culture here. Listen to them.
And here is her double layout dismount, perfectly stretched in the air. Finishes, no problem.
And we'll keep an eye on April Burkhalter. This is Ashley Claire Kearney for LSU on the bar. Boy, I was watching her warm up. Talk about powerful, Shannon.
She is very powerful, and a lot of times a gymnast that's so powerful isn't that good on bars, but she is incredible. Look at the height she gets on that release move.
Here is one woman who truly has upper body strength.
She really does. Solid routine. Beautiful set.
Wow. Now back to the Sooners and Oklahoma, and as Shannon Miller pointed out to you, beginning tonight on balance beam and a shaky start, Ashley Cooney is the 4th competitor for the Sooners.
And this is an unfortunate start for the Sooners. They've had one fall and a few wobbles. Ashley really needs to pick up every 10th that she can, and they need to move on to the other events for stronger performances.
And as you said, they're coming off a meet where they stumbled in this event. She's from Plano, Texas, one of the great homes of gymnastics in America, the Kurt Thomas School.
She is rocking this set. She just nailed her first series, a handspring layout, step out. Little tentative there. She's watched her teammates compete. She's watched some falls and wobbles. She has to put it together, put that out of her mind.
21-year-old sophomore. Yeah! 5'4".
She's very aggressive on this event. Really tries to hit each move, each position. Huge double tuck dismount. Just a step on the landing. That is the type of routine that they needed throughout.
Well, there you go. Coach Nuno, your longtime coach, there he is, says that she remains the stronghold of the team, put her right in the middle of the pack, and maybe gets them back on the uptick again.
Well, this is a great routine to start them going back the right way again. She was very solid, just a small step on the landing, but they need to keep this in mind as they head into the next event.
Now you see some smiles from the Sooners. Lisa Rennie about to begin her routine for LSU. She's one of the taller competitors in gymnastics at 5'5". Comes from Las Vegas, Nevada. Watching her warm up. Very, very entertaining competitor. Just a sophomore.
She has some very nice skills right there, doing some eagle giants. Watch the way her hands are turned. She opened with a huge release move. Not quite as good a form as her teammate April, but still a very strong performance.
Ooh.
Toe on, front half out.
Interesting. Strong start for LSU on the bars. Lisa Rennie.
This is a different dismount than you usually see. She's going to put her toes on the bar, kick out, do a front somersault, and a half turn out. She can see the floor before she lands.
Very interesting. Lisa Rennie of LSU. The individual performer from Yale, Ann McPherson, who is here along with Catherine Fong from the Eli.
Opening with a nice high double pike, and she is allowed to use that extra sting mat on the floor exercise. The coach will pull it out. Of course, if she were to go out of bounds, that would still be a deduction.
Of the dance goes into the scoring on floor?
Well, obviously the judges want to see a performance. It's more than just skill after skill after skill. However, they do want to see the powerful tumbling. They want to see the leaps and jumps. But if you can connect all of that with a smile and a performance within those dance moves, then that's what's going to earn you the big score. Sometimes it's difficult to fit all of that in within a minute 30 seconds.
Familiar music?
Yes, it is. Actually, this was my old floor music.
I'm starting to learn all about you now.
Front handspring, front layout, and this was a bounding pass. And again, her timing was just a little bit off. She shortcut her front layout and could not make it around on her front top.
Right at the very end, Ann McPherson from Yale, 90 seconds. Boy, you talk about intense physical strain and fatigue. Could be a problem, I would think, at the end of the routine.
The last time we pass is always hard. Here she goes. She has a handspring front layout, and you can see her hips drop back, and she just wasn't able to get the bounding that she needed to get that front tuck all the way around.
Let's go back to the balance beam where we're about to finish off our first rotation of competitors. This is a young lady from the University of Pennsylvania who's here with her coach. We talked with them earlier, Emily Petkin, and they're very proud at Yale and Penn to have a couple of individual qualifiers where athletic scholarships are not awarded at all.
Emily setting up for her series. Bent legs, which causes that wobble off to the side, but she stays on. That's the most important thing.
Nope.
Another one of those dance skills. Every gymnast has to do a 360-degree turn, and sometimes it just gives you a little bit of a problem. Nice solid tuck back, connecting those two moves gives her an extra bonus. Finishing up with a 1.5 twist, very difficult to land forward like that. Solid routine, very good job for Emily.
And there she is with her coach from the University of Pennsylvania, Emily Petkin, on beam.
And here's her dismount. She's going to do a round off with a 1.5 twist. And you can see when she lands, she can't see the floor coming up towards her. But she sticks it anyways. Very strong athlete.
Among the individual qualifiers and contending for a spot in individual honors at the finals from Yale University, from New Haven. On the bars now, Catherine Fong.
Starting with a hop full over the bar to a ginger. Now she just dragged her feet on the floor. That could be a 3/10 deduction. She won't get a full fall for that. But doing some difficult skills. Tuck full and dismount. You see that at the Olympic Games. She did it very well.
Catherine Fong from Yale, one of the only Eli competitor here.
And she did some very difficult moves. Obviously, you know, the routine needs to be a little cleaner, but a full twisting double back at the end, and she nails it.
Back to the floor and watching the Razorbacks, or rather the Lady Gymbacks, they call themselves from Arkansas, Mallory Matchnick.
Starting off strong, first tumbling pass, round up by handspring double pike, over-rotating it a bit.
Mallory, just a freshman, 5 foot 1 inch out of Monroe, Louisiana.
Getting her front tumbling in for a handspring front full, pike front. So far, extremely solid routine.
Has a 9-9 this year on the floor against number 4, Florida.
If Arkansas can really stay strong and steady throughout this competition, and if Oklahoma is to open the door like they seem to have done on balance beam, they could sneak into that second spot and be at nationals for the first time in their history.
Yeah, and again, these southern teams here from the southeast, Arkansas, LSU, Oklahoma, all accustomed to intense competition, playing in front of big crowds. Arkansas, an interesting story, just their 3rd year of NCAA competition. And Mallory Matchnick now lying down on the job, concludes her routine on the floor. Stephanie Panic about to begin her routine.
Very strong vaulter. She's going to do her handspring front tuck. Extremely high, actually over-rotates it.
Now on the floor from Arkansas, Samantha Cortez, the last competitor in this first rotation for the Lady Gymbacks from Little Rock, Arkansas.
She's been a very consistent member of the Arkansas team, opening with a double tuck back. Perfect landing.
She's just a freshman, and also from the Garden State, from Verona, New Jersey, and Mount St. Dominic Academy.
Great smile, great music to get the audience really involved with the routine.
The Latin edge to it for Ms. Cortez.
Second tumbling pass for a handspring front layout, what we call a bounding pass.
Season high of 9.9 in this, in a Southeastern Conference meet against Florida.
Very good tumbler and vaulter. Catching a little bit of a breath before this last tumbling pass. Round up back handspring, double tack. That was her first tumbling pass. Solid routine, beautiful, beautiful performance.
And some of the other Arkansas team members saluting Samantha Cortez.
And here's her middle tumbling pass for handspring front layout, Takes that big step so that she doesn't over-rotate. And here's her last tumbling pass. Round off, back handspring, nice high double tuck, perfect landing.
And then high fives down the line from her teammates as freshman Samantha Cortez from Verona, New Jersey wraps up the first rotation for the team from Arkansas. So we're tracking the scores in the opening rotation. The NCAA Northeast Regionals will continue right after this. Go Tigers, a big LSU contingent up here in Durham, New Hampshire in the early spring for the NCAA Northeast Regional Championships at the Whittemore Center on the campus of the University of New Hampshire. A big Razorback contingent here as well. We start the second round, the second rotation, moving to the vault, the Arkansas team. Moving to the bars, the host New Hampshire Wildcats. On the beam, LSU, and on floor, the University of Pittsburgh. The Lady Razorbacks, the Gymbacks now, are on the floor on the vault, and they have vaulted past Oklahoma after the first rotation. They currently sit in the second position, and remember, only the top 2 teams qualify for the finals in Auburn, Alabama. Oklahoma 6/10 of a point behind Arkansas after the first rotation, as Mallory Matchnick, who scored a 9.775 on the floor, gets set for her vault. Looks down the runway, and I guess like an airplane pilot, looks for the all clear for her takeoff.
And this is probably Arkansas's weakest event, so that if they can hit and get through this event, they could really stay in that second position. Here Marchenko, full twist.
What do you think?
Beautiful vault, beautiful form in the air, powerful.
Yeah.
That is their 4th hit so far on vault.
Big smile from Mallory as she hooks up with her coach, and here's a replay. Just a hair offline.
Round off onto the horse, full twist in the air, beautiful form in the air, just 1/10 deduction on the landing.
The LSU Lady Tigers, Lisa Rennie, who had the 2nd highest score in the first rotation on floor at 9.8 for LSU.
She's doing a very difficult mount. Round off onto the board, layout step out onto the beam, and nails it perfectly.
It was effortless.
She's actually currently ranked 4th on this event. Beautiful pike jump. During her pike jump, her legs need to be horizontal or above horizontal for credit.
Lisa, one of the taller competitors in the field.
Which makes beam a little bit tougher, but she's doing a good job of staying on. She really saved that landing right there. She was a little bit off, but planted her feet and her hips. Nice leap series, jump series. And beautiful dismount off the side of the beam.
Held it, Lisa Rennie. And there go the Tiger fans again. Chance of LSU go up from just behind us.
Watch her dismount closely. Front handspring, swings her leg into a full twist off the side of the beam and sticks her landing. Beautiful routine.
Dana McQuillan, a junior now for Arkansas.
Starting off with a front handspring, front pike half, a little low on that landing, but that is their 5th hit. There's 6 athletes that compete, 5 of the scores count.
So far, pretty good for Coach Cook. Renee and Mark Cook, the husband and wife who coached the Arkansas team.
Watch her get a block up off the horse, legs a little bit separated in the air, then she pikes down, half turn, and squeezes out that landing.
Kelly Phelan now for LSU. With 2 competitors left for the Tigers on the beam.
Very nice mount, an unusual mount. It's always nice to see something like that. Wakes the judges up a bit. A little bit of bent knees. A very solid routine. One of the things that's nice is that she seems to be really thinking about one skill at a time.
Kelly did not compete on floor, is entering her first at the competition here on the beam.
So far, this has been an incredible beam performance. Double twisting dismount, sticking the landing. Difficult routine, and she got through it with no major breaks or wobbles.
5th competitor for LSU, Kelly Phelan, with an excellent performance on the balance beam.
Here's her front tuck summy. A very difficult move. You have to lose side of the beam. And here's her dismount, a double twist, blocking up for a perfect landing.
We're in rotation 2, the 2nd round of 6 in tonight's NCAA Northeast Regional Meet. We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching the very best of women's collegiate competition in gymnastics, the NCAA Northeast Regional Championships from Durham, New Hampshire, on the campus of the University of New Hampshire, here on CNE. This is Mariana Pena-Trestini for the home team, the University of New Hampshire. And on this exercise. The bars, Shannon, she has the highest individual mark of the year for the entire team at 9.975.
And she has a beautiful routine. Watch this release move right here. Huge release move. Catches the bar with no problem. She has beautiful form as she's swinging. Keeps those legs together, toes pointed. She also keeps a very strong swing.
And you can hear that tiger growl, the wildcat growl in the background.
Setting up for her dismount. Huge tuck full in.
Oh, yeah.
Landing.
Yeah, and the hometown fans saluting Mariana Peña Trestini for another excellent performance on the uneven parallel bars.
And here's her dismount. She goes up, full twist, double back. No problem there.
Host team coming out with a strong start on bars. A look at the Pitt Panthers now, and Andrea Arlotta, a 5'3" sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio. Panthers, Wildcats, and Tigers all in this meet, so every time you hear that growl, it could work for any number of the teams here. Good look into the eyes.
Starting off with a huge pass.
Stepped out.
Double layout. You saw her step onto that white line. That means 1/10 deduction.
Claps her hands over her head. The entire team follows her along the sidelines.
Coming up on our front tumbling pass. Front layout, front layout.
Pittsburgh team has several young ladies from the CN8 region. Brittany Baldwin from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Nicole Drain from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Caitlin Harrison, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Nice little change to the music there. Setting up for her third tumbling pass. Front handspring, front full, front tuck. Another beautiful landing.
Nice routine overall. Andrea Arlotta on floor from Cincinnati, Ohio for the Pitt Panthers, the sophomore. And we'll take a look at all three tumbling passes for Andrea.
This first tumbling pass is a huge tumbling pass. She's trying to do a double layout. She pikes the first one around a little bit and actually over-rotates it. She didn't need that pike. She stepped out of bounds for 1/10 deduction. But her next two tumbling passes were perfectly clean. Front layout, front layout. And closing with another front tumbling pass, front full twist, punch tongue front.
All right, the Arkansas women literally making a run at it. Here comes Samantha Cortez.
Big vault. Yurchenko full twist, nails the landing. Arkansas is looking hot. They are really looking for this second place finish.
All right, if the host team has any chance, it'll be carried on the shoulders of junior Amanda Hall. Shannon talked about her beforehand. Here she goes, first performance of the day on the bars.
She has a big release move coming up. She's going to swing backwards into a front flip right here. And
oh!
She needed to grab that bar. That's a tough thing when you're flying around and you can't see the bar. She needed to pull her feet up a little bit more vertical so that she was closer into the bar.
That had to hurt.
Well, luckily the pads are pretty soft. She finishes up her second release move, a beautiful reverse hex. It's actually a very difficult, very nice bar routine. Unfortunately, she's going to have a 5/10 deduction with that fall.
All right, Amanda Hall with a costly error in her first routine of the evening's competition. Another of our wild card entries as an individual competitor trying to make the finals from Yale, Ann McPherson. This on the vault.
Putting a strong run into a round off. Nice high layout, a little bit piked down as she finishes.
Not just one of the stars of this regional, but in all of America, April Burkhalter, and you can see why.
Beautiful mount, round off layout, step out onto the beam. She's going to get her tough stuff out of the way right off the bat. Layout.
Like she was born to perform on 4 inches.
She really does. She looks so solid and so comfortable up there. She's not shaking or hesitant. She just goes after each skill.
Yeah, so many of the performers seem to almost, you can almost read the dread in their faces on the beam.
Beam will do that to you sometimes,
This
but
is
she
still
looks very confident.
This is still where you perform, right, Shannon?
Yes, I do. I actually still do beam. I don't do the stuff that they do anymore, though. Solid set. Huge dismount. Double pike.
April Burkhalter, who had a 9.8 to start the meet on bars with another excellent performance. Leah Moon is another of the individuals competing here, trying to find a spot in the finals, and the University of Pennsylvania with 2 competitors here out of the Ivy League in Philadelphia, PA. This is Leah Moon.
Starting her routine with the safe mount, get on the beam, do your skills on top of the balance beam. Very nice back handspring layout step out.
Leah and Emily Petkin, teammates on the Penn team, both qualified as individuals. Another Ivy Leaguer, Ann McPherson from Yale.
Very difficult for a lot of these individual athletes that are just doing one event to sit and wait all that time and then have to get up and perform.
In front of the judges.
Beautiful switch side leap, and she tilts her shoulders back behind her hips, which knocks her right off the beam for a 5/10 deduction.
That side leap's so tough, right? You don't have a real good frame of reference for landing on the beam.
That's exactly right. You don't really have any one point to look at. And a front full dismount. Other than the fall, a very solid routine. That's an unfortunate mistake.
I love the initial smiles, and then the second later you get the real reaction. Leah Moon from Penn. We still have a long way to go coming up. Rotation 3, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, New Hampshire, and Oklahoma all in action when we return to the action. All right, we're through 2 fingers rotations of events here. Young competitors and old, watching the NCAA Northeast Regional Championships from Durham, New Hampshire. Lou Tilley along with Shannon Miller, and really enjoying the competition as these women try to qualify for nationals, the next step in the championship road. Here's how we'll line up in rotation 3 of 6 that we'll see because of 6 teams participating. Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh on the vault, Rutgers on the bars, New Hampshire, the host team, on the beam, and Oklahoma on the floor. All right, some words of encouragement from Sooner coach Steve Nuno, who tutored my partner Shannon Miller for what, 17 years?
Yeah, it's crazy, something like that.
How about that? And now he comes back to the college ranks and is very happy. He says, been at Oklahoma since he met you, better part of 20 years now, and coaching the Sooners. And here's one of his better competitors on the floor. Oklahoma, Shannon, after a slow start on the beam, needs to pick it up here in floor exercise.
That's right, and I guarantee you Steve is not real happy with the beam performance, but he's the type of coach that really gets to the athlete and says, look, put it behind you, focus on what's ahead, let's get the rest of the meet done.
Nuno cut his own teeth as a gymnast at UMass, not far from here in Massachusetts, and then ran a very successful gymnastics school in Boston before moving on to study under Bella Caroli.
Beautiful, nice high first pass, double pike, somersault. These girls work really hard on their dance, making sure everything's fluid between the tumbling passes. Front full, front tuck.
Some of that polish from his years in international competition he brings to the collegiate ranks. Says he's really enjoying the competitive aspect of the college team experience. And there he is.
And Steve, you can see right there, he's the type of coach, he does the routine with you on the sideline.
He's got a little Bella in him, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He worked with Bella for some time during Mary Lou Retton's reign and picked up a few things, I think.
Very positive coach when you're performing?
Absolutely. He's the type of coach that before you go out, he says, let's go have some fun. You know, not don't fall. It's
right.
Just go have some fun, enjoy what you're doing. And you can see it on these girls' faces.
We've done the work. Let's have the fun now.
Beautiful routine.
Well,
front layout, front layout.
Yeah, really working the sidelines there. Okay, so the Sooners trying to get on the uptick here. Brittany Konkak, and obviously Coach Nuno liked that. Now they have to finish in the top 2 spots to move on to nationals, and they are in a tussle right now with Arkansas.
And they can score a 49 on this exercise as a team. And these are the type of performances they're going to continue to have with each of the other team members in order to get that 49.
Now the University of Pittsburgh would like to make a run at this on the vault now at the end of the runway. Andrea Arlotta.
Strong run, front handspring, front pike out. And she barely eked that one out. Pulled her feet around just in enough time to get her feet under her.
Where did this go offline?
You can watch her block. She blocks straight up, but she doesn't get the rotation that she needs. She gets height, but she's not getting her hips around so that she can get her feet under her. But she does stay on her feet, just one large step to the side.
Next up for the Sooners, who hope to get booming and make it to the Nationals. On floor, Kristen Cox.
Kristen's a solid all-arounder, can score very well on this event. Starting off with a round-off back handspring, nice high double pike.
Out of Memphis, Tennessee, a 5-foot-tall junior.
All of these athletes here tonight on every team looking for those stuck landings, not giving away any tenths to the judges.
Has a career high of 9.85 on the floor.
Huge tumbling pass, 1.5 twist through to a 1.5 punch front. Kristen, one of OU's more powerful athletes. Last tumbling pass, 2.5 twist. And it looks like OU may be bringing itself back into the mix.
She had a bounce bigger than my vertical leap there at the end.
And here's her second tumbling pass. She's a round off 1.5 twist, step out, right through to another 1.5 punch front.
So some boom from the Sooners. Stephanie Zick from the State University of New Jersey, from Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights. She's a senior, one of their tri-captains out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
She's a nice straddle over mount. Full pirouette. That's a front giant. Nice release move. A little bit slow on that swing, but she's doing some difficult moves. Full pirouetting right into it. Double tuck somersault, dismount. Nice routine.
Stephanie Zick, who's a member of the National Honor Society at Pittsburgh.
This is a strong, consistent routine. It's not flashy, but she gets the job done. Right here, she does a full pirouette right into a double tuck dismount.
This is Mariana Pena-Trestini, who had the high mark for the host team, New Hampshire, on their first rotation on the bars at 9.65. Now on the beam.
Another difficult mount. Front somersault onto the beam. Plant those feet, bend those knees. Nice leap series, earning back some bonus points for that. A little bit cheated around. You can see when she did that move, she's supposed to do a full twist, which is 360 degrees. She kind of slid her feet around first. That may be a deduction. Is a punch front full, kind of catty corner off the side of the beam.
Mariana Pena-Trestini.
Here's where she has a big wobble in her leap series, but she gets that left foot back to the beam and keeps her hips on top of the beam, which saves her from that 5/10 deduction. Here's her interesting dismount, a front full off of the side of the beam.
And Coach Gail Goodspeed of the host school here at University of New Hampshire. Gail has been the most very gracious host for all of us here. Stephanie Panic now for Rutgers University as they compete on the uneven parallel bars in her first year at New Brunswick.
Starting off, each gymnast has to move between the low bar and the high bar. Nice free up to a full pirouette. Here's her release move. Nice straddle, catch the bar. Just a little bit flex feet through the bars. But a nice solid double tuck dismount.
No panic for Stephanie Panic, P-A-N-N-I-C-K. And she finishes on the bars. Emily Dominic, one of the individual performers here for the University of Rhode Island. Very similar in colors with the University of North Carolina. They share a mascot.
Trying to win an individual spot at the NCAA championships. Nice three-quarter straddle jump. Beautiful split leaps. We're looking for a 180-degree split, though. The judges are going to take a deduction if it's not a complete 180, and really needs to be more than 180-degree split for gymnasts.
Emily scored 8.75. She fell in her first exercise of the evening on the bars.
Staying on the balance beam, finishing with 1.5 twist dismount. She's pretty happy with that performance. Here's another look at her dismount. She'll do a round off towards the end of the beam and 1.5 twist. Lands it very nicely. Nice finish to that routine.
Ashley Cooney, as the Sooners try to get back on gear and back in gear after stumbling at the start on the beam. This in the floor exercise. Strength moves there to start.
Starting off strong with a nice big double pike to open. go with smiles on their faces. They know they have 3 big events to go to be in that second spot. Nice 2.5 twist.
It's a nice routine. Interesting, kind of different.
That's what's fun about floor. You get to really show your personality, do the type of dance to the type of music that you like.
Ooh.
Front layout, front layout.
Ashley Cooney from the University of Oklahoma. Here's Emily Petkin out of the University of Pennsylvania. Scored very well on the floor, by the way, 9-6.
Nice run. Soup, layout off. Not the most difficult vault, but she did it very well.
And here is Erin Labar, the redhead in the crimson colors of Oklahoma.
Labar is an incredible performer, really helps unite this team. She's a true leader at OU.
Whoa.
Opening with a big double pipe.
Wow, what elevation. The muscles in her legs.
When you watch her, you get a feel for the confidence that she has in her gymnastics.
Oh my. That's just beautiful to watch.
Very nice bounding pass. To her teammates for a little support before her last tumbling pass.
The wind up and the pitch.
Huge double tuck dismount. She actually opened out a little bit early.
Erin Labar, and you can see the Sooners starting to surge now as a unit here in the floor exercise. Amanda Hall from the host team here at the University of New Hampshire. She got off to a tough start on the bars at the low mark of her team, and it was thrown out. She's hoping to do very well here in the all-around competition. And let's see what she can do on the beam.
Here's her series. A little bit of a bobble there, but she was able to stay on even though she bent her legs during it. And that kind of tends to knock you off to the side. Judges looking for that 180-degree split, and it looks like she left out a skill right there, like she was going to jump for another leap and just decided not to.
Yeah, the tough start on the bars. I often thought it'd be like in golf if you triple bogey the first hole. You almost say, oh boy, it's going to be one of those days.
It is. It's difficult to come back from a fall, but the best athletes are able to really put it behind them and just look at the rest of the competition. And, you know, anything can happen with any gymnast here.
Great record of accomplishment, Amanda Hall. Beautiful campus here. Got up here on a beautiful, crisp spring day.
Nice way to end it.
Yeah, good round of applause from the hometown fans on hand for Amanda Hall. There's her coach. And some of the local fans. When we come back, we move to the 4th rotation of 6. We're at the half. We'll update you on the scores and be back as we continue right after this. We move towards the 4th round of play in a 4th rotation in gymnastics. It's the NCAA's Northeast Regional Championships from the Whittemore Center on the campus of Durham, New Hampshire, the campus of the University of New Hampshire. Oklahoma moves to the vault. Arkansas to the bars, Rutgers on beam, LSU on floor.
After the
Hello, everyone. I'm Bart Connor, along with Shannon Miller. Just kidding. Lou Tilley and Shannon, the greatest gymnast in American history. College gymnastics, especially for the women. We've seen the great result of Title IX here. And I've heard about this, but it's a good chance to see it up close. Very exciting, the team competition that you feel here. The energy here is great.
It's amazing, and it's so different for me because as an elite gymnast, you don't always get that team feeling. But in NCAA gymnastics, you hear the audience, the teammates are doing their routines on the sidelines with you. It's great. Yeah, particularly the teams here from the Southeast and that Southeastern Conference where they get crowds of 10 to 15,000 for some of the dual meets down there. This is very interesting. Yeah, it is. It's exciting for gymnastics, and it's exciting to see that it continues to grow and build. And a reminder here that a good crowd on hand, but only the top 2 teams or the top 2 finishers individually get a chance to move on to the finals, and that should be something down at Auburn. That's right. It's going to be an amazing competition, and tonight we're looking at LSU in that number 1 spot, and really Arkansas and OU duking it out for that number 2 spot. Just wondering now, would you have college eligibility? Could you come back and no, be quite a story? I've actually never had college eligibility, so. Darn. Well, we could change the rules. That would be worth seeing. Sounds good to me. Shannon's still competing, by the way, in some of the special shows that you see her out performing. I don't get scores anymore. It's Nicole Butler and LSU, true to form here. Came in as the top-ranked team and performing as such. And they are the top-ranked team on this event in the nation. They're incredible floor workers. Big triple full. She actually did that better in warm-ups when she stuck it. Very consistent scores for LSU through their first 2 rotations. 49.050 on bars, 49.150 on beam. Coming back with even stronger tumbling, making sure to stay in those bounds. Those scores were tops for any team. Of course, more leaps and jumps, adding those bonus points. So far, very strong routine filled with difficulty. Leading up to this last tumbling pass. Round up, whip back directly to a double full. Wow. Nice job. Great energy at the end of her 90-second routine. Nicole Butler from LSU. Here's her last tumbling pass. She's going to do a whip directly into a double full. That's difficult. You have to move your horizontal momentum to go directly vertical. Kind of created some kinetic energy there in her last tumbling pass. Erin Labar for Oklahoma, and after a slow start on the beam, they have gathered themselves, moved back into second place. Can they hold on and gain a spot in the finals? Erin Labar calls timeout. She was bothered actually by our camera person who's holding the handheld camera to her right. It was in her field of vision, her peripheral view, and the coaches quickly move our man out of there. And now Labar tries to gather herself. Well, and it really is about the safety of the athletes. You know, if something's in your peripheral vision, I've actually had times where I've been on the balance beam and I actually hit my foot against the cameraman's camera. They just didn't realize that they were that close to me. Now that's the cameraman again, but he's slightly behind her now and hopefully out of her field of vision. Let's see if it bothers her at all. Beautiful front handspring, front pike. Rebounds a little bit for probably about a 10th deduction on that landing. Good recovery, though, for Erin Labar. Nice, powerful vault. You can see her power. She's gaining speed on that run. She blocks the horse, looking for height and distance, good form in the air, and just kind of pops up with her leg in the back. But other than that deduction, it was a very solid vault.
Kelly Phelan on the floor exercise.
Nice double pike to open.
I don't know how wise her choice of music given the current atmosphere, but it is a mix of Michael Jackson hits.
Nice twisting tumbling pass. Again, those front tumbling passes, very difficult to land because you can't see the floor coming towards you. LSU very consistent today, just coming in and really doing the job that we all thought they were going to do.
Familiar choreography. They are the team to beat.
Nice front tumbling at the end, front full, tuck front full.
Nice routine. Kelly Phelan, the LSU Bengal Tigers are growling here tonight. Trying to run the table and wrap up first place wire to wire, and they're about halfway home.
LSU's really separated themselves from the pack with routines like these. Beautiful tumbling, nice energy on her floor routine.
Oklahoma after a shaky start, and Ashley Cooney now on the runway, ready for takeoff.
And Ashley Cooney is an excellent vaulter, but she's recovering from a sprained ankle she received in February. Yurchenko layout full. Couldn't tell she had any problems there.
Oh! This should be interesting for LSU. We've seen her a couple of times already. Ashley Claire Kearney.
Extremely powerful athlete. She's actually 6th in the nation on this event.
The upper body development on her.
I don't know, I was looking at those legs, and I think she could do a double layout instead of that double pike. Nice leap series towards the corner. Coming back, front handspring, front full, tuck front.
Amazing athletic facilities at LSU. One of the great all-around athletic programs in America.
As we watch these routines, a lot of these tumbling passes are similar to other teams, but you look at the power, you look at the height, you look at the clean landings, and that's what's separating these athletes from the others.
Yeah, and a certain element of poise and confidence.
It really does have a lot to do with confidence. The judges see that.
Yeah.
Big closing pass, double tuck.
Another great rotation of performance by LSU. And you can see many of their fans have made the long trip up from Baton Rouge to Durham, New Hampshire.
Here is Ashley's last tumbling pass. Round off by handspring, double tuck, dismount. A little short on that landing, but she pulls it out.
Still to come from New Hampshire and the Northeast Regional Championships of the NCAA. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Rutgers, and LSU continue. And they're looking for a spot in the national championships in a week or two. It's the Northeast Regional Championships as we continue now on CN8 from Durham, New Hampshire. On bars now, Emily Peacock for Arkansas. And now Arkansas will have to rally after a good challenge early to try and take that second spot away from Oklahoma. The Sooners have surged back into the #2 position.
This is a great event for Emily. Beautiful straddle forward flip to catch the bar. Giants the wrong way in between the bars. Beautiful form, legs together, all those things the judges are looking for. Nice handstands. completely vertical. And a strong swing into a double layout dismount.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big routine.
Look at that. Razorbacks like that. The Gymbacks, the ladies call themselves. The fans say that's a 10. Maybe not, but it's going to be an excellent score for Arkansas. One of the individual competitors from Yale University, Ann McPherson, 9.375 on the vault, 8.8 on the floor. Trying to grab a spot and couldn't grab the bar.
She did a beautiful full pirouette, just wasn't able to, she needed to get her feet up and kind of pop at the top a little bit quicker. She wasn't able to get her chest forward enough to grab that bar. Of course, now she gets 30 seconds to chalk up, check her grips, get ready, take a breath before she gets back up on the bar.
And she gets back on the bar and continues her routine. And McPherson, 9.375 on the vault, 8.8 on the floor. And this will cost her on the bars. One of two competitors here from the Yale team. One from the University of Pennsylvania.
Finishing up with a little bit of a tucked double pike, actually. Unfortunate routine.
22-year-old April Burkhalter, just a junior. She is an All-American 4 times. And here she is on the floor, and this LSU team is on a roll, as they say.
And this is a huge routine, a lot of fun, great for the audience. Opens up with a full twisting double back.
You'll see this happen sometimes when a team picks up its own energy and it flows from one to the other, and April leads the pack. LSU is just dominating right now.
And she really is the leader of this team. As she's doing this floor routine, we can see the rest of her teammates on the sidelines doing it right along with her. Huge tumbling pass, 2.5 twists, punch layout front. A lot of timing involved. She does it perfectly.
She had 5 perfect 10 scores in her sophomore year alone, has 4 in this her junior year.
She's just out there having fun now.
5'1" junior out of Houston, Texas.
This routine just packed with difficulty. Double top, another perfect landing.
This is what you were talking about earlier, about integrating the dance moves with the gymnastics athletic events, and boy, she sure did that.
She really does. She's a beautiful dancer. She's able to mix everything very well, and this tumbling is incredible. 2.5 punch layout front.
Oh boy, and did the LSU crowd love that performance by April Burkhalter, and these scores should be sensational. I should point out to you that in her lifetime 10s that she's achieved on the college level, they've been on 3 of the 4 disciplines. Arkansas trying to stay in contention, and Dana McQuillan with 9.575 on the vault, now on the bars.
Nice uprising handstand to a full pirouette. Back on the low bar now. Full pirouette to double tuck dismount. Not a whole lot of difficulty in the routine, but what she does, she did very well.
2 more rounds of competition to come from the NCAA Northeast Regionals, with LSU, Pittsburgh, Arkansas, and New Hampshire taking the stage when we come right back after this. 2 more rounds of competition to go from the NCAA Northeast Regional Championships. The women's gymnastics competition continues. This is Kelly Phelan from LSU. The Tigers continue to roll along. She's had an excellent meet, 9-9. You just saw that. Here on the vault. Starts from the right side.
Yurchenko, beautiful full twist. Lands almost presenting to the judges already.
See how she came down the right edge of the runway and then came back to the middle.
Yeah, and some athletes do that. They start to the right or the left of the runway so that they end up in the middle if they know they tend to run one way or the other. Here's a beautiful laid out full twist, a nice stuck landing.
All right, on the bars, the University of Pittsburgh and Andrea Arlotta.
Got a couple of leg splits in there, but nice release move. Judges looking for those vertical handstands. Swinging big dismount, double layout. Beautifully done.
Nicole Butler for LSU. 9.85 on the floor. Takes every bit of the runway here.
Another round off. Yurchenko full and another stuck landing. This team is finishing strong.
Not even a wobble. There's some of the LSU faithful.
And this is the reason why this team is in first place. Nice, clean skills, good form in the air, and stuck landings.
And next up on the runway, the star of the meet, April Burkhalter, who has lived up to billing. All-American in every year, coming into this her junior year, and sure to be a top-notch competitor in the national finals coming up in a couple of weeks in Auburn, Alabama. Great competition in the Southeastern Conference.
You can see how focused she is. She's not thinking about the last 3 events that she just hit. She's thinking only about the vault, making sure that she finishes strong.
9.975 on the floor. One of the judges gave her a 10. Watched her here warming up on the vault. She has great height.
Judges looking for that height, looking for that distance and power.
Wow!
Another beautiful vault. Little hop on that landing, but directly up. She didn't actually hop sideways. Here's another look at her gorgeous vault.
This elevation here.
Nice power, beautiful form in the air. Just a little too much power on that landing.
Yeah. Now on the floor, the host team, the University of New Hampshire, and Amanda Hall, who started off, fell on the bars, and then struggled a bit on the beam. Let's see how she can perform on the floor exercise.
One thing I like about Amanda is she always looks happy to be here. She's coming back from that fall. Nice, powerful double pipe to open. Always a crowd pleaser.
Wow, that was an interesting move. She's a junior from the state of Washington, so she has another season ahead.
Another powerful tumbling pass. Beautiful front layout, front full. Really working that performance. Front handspring front, 1.5 twist. We call it a Rudy. Nice solid routine for Amanda.
Yeah, nice comeback after a couple of tough routines, and a nice smile on her face for the first time with her coach there, Gail Goodspeed, and in front of all the home fans at the University of New Hampshire. Ashley Claire Kearney, another outstanding performer, very powerful. This should be interesting.
Big vaulters in this group and a lot of stuck landings. This is incredible.
One after the other. It's like a great baseball team batting around, and again and again and again. Hard to believe this team finished third in the Southeastern Conference tournament.
Well, I don't think they're ready to just take home a gold here at regionals. I think they want to take home a gold at nationals. And this is the way to do it. Huge vaults, sticking those landings.
Tough act to follow then for Alexis Zaffers from Temple, who is competing individually here. Well, maybe it'll work for her as she follows the LSU lineup down the runway. Now, she comes in cold. This is the first time she's taken off the warm-ups, and you can see the little smile on her face. Maybe a little intimidating. Let's see how she does.
That's right. So basically, she's been sitting around for about 3 hours now while everyone else has been kept warm competing, and now she has to go out. She's got one shot to make it.
And in her one warm-up run, and that's all she's had. Well, let's not jinx her. Let's see what she can do here.
Season high on vault is a 9.725.
Determined look.
Front handspring.
Oh.
Trying for that pike front half.
That's tough.
You can see in the replay, she's going to bend her leg some, which, you know, usually when you try to go for a skill, you have to go 100% for that skill. And when you start doing things differently, that's when you run into trouble. Here you can see she hits the board, tries to get into that pike, and then just kind of decides to tuck it around, and she ends up tucking it around too far.
Really tough because, as we said, a great competitor all year long. She qualifies in this event, has to sit for the better part of 3 hours, takes off her warm-up, had one run down the track, and then follows 6 sensational vaults by LSU. So part of the drama here that is sports and in gymnastics as well. And we go right to the floor. From the host team, the University of New Hampshire, and having an excellent meet. Maria Pena Trastini.
Opening up with a nice 2.5 twist punch front. Having a lot of fun during this floor routine, smiling to the judges, smiling to the audience.
Yeah, the crowd loves her here. A little Charo move there.
Really a very good performer. Nice form in the double pike. Even points her toes.
Boy, we're seeing a great level of skill here tonight. And in the midst of some very intense competition.
This is a great floor exercise. Beautiful dance, nice leaps, powerful tumbling. Closing out this routine with a whip straight to a double full.
Hey, how about that? Maria Pena Trastini, and she had the floor to herself here as the last competitor in this rotation. So the whole crowd really responding to the hometown and the home team competitor.
And a beautiful middle tumbling pass, double pike.
Very nice sidebar story, as there often are in this most interesting of sports. And there are the New Hampshire fans on a beautiful spring day in Durham. My first time here. So impressive. So Katie Hartman now on the beam, and Katie and the rest of the Lady Razorbacks, or the Gymbacks as they call themselves, and just their 4th year of competition, trying to steal their way into the finals if they can overcome Oklahoma. Remember, the top 2 teams move on to the national finals in a couple of weeks at Auburn.
Her coaches say she's one of the most technically sound gymnasts, which also makes her one of the most consistent gymnasts at Arkansas. Flip up, lay out, step out. That technique comes in handy. keeping every body part over the balance beam. It's a requirement for each gymnast to get down low on the balance beam.
So Arkansas here in our 5th rotation, while Oklahoma is currently sitting out this rotation, hoping to post solid scores, good enough, and then not to wish any ill will to their competitors, hoping that Oklahoma does not score up to par when they participate on the bars. And that's in the 6th and final rotation, just ahead as Arkansas wraps up on the beam.
Here's her series, back handspring, and watch her technique. She'll pull her arm straight up directly over the beam, not leaving any room for error.
And speaking of errors, no glaring mistakes by Arkansas on the beam. And so Oklahoma next up in the rotation 6, the last round of competition, trying to hold on. It's CN8 and the Comcast Network's presentation of the NCAA Northeast Regional Championships. The top 2 teams will go on to the national finals in a couple of weeks. I'm Lou Tilley, along with Shannon Miller, who all of you know, all fans of athletics in America. Now here's the drama as we go to the 6th and final round of competition, the rotation. Arkansas trying to grab that last available spot to go to the finals. They're done.
Yep.
So Oklahoma only has to protect their lead in 2nd place. Is it possible? Could they lose 2nd place?
Well, anything's possible in gymnastics.
Not likely.
It's not likely. All Oklahoma has to do is hit. But if they go up and they have a few falls, that could put that 2nd place in jeopardy.
Now this will be on the uneven parallel bars, so that is treacherous territory. One little slip of the hands.
It's not as bad as beam, but bars is not the floor exercise where you really can't fall. But, you know, Oklahoma's been very strong on this event. They've been consistent. All they need to do is their job.
And here is a spot where your former coach and his experience would really probably help settle these girls before they begin, yes?
Absolutely. And if there's anything risky, they're going to take it out. They're going to make sure that they know exactly what they're going to do once they get up on those bars.
Minimize the risk here since they're sitting on the lead, so to speak. LSU on top. They're in, it sure seems.
That's
right. And Oklahoma trying to hold on as we begin the last rotation. So, Oklahoma on the uneven parallel bars. Stephanie LaPiccolo is first up.
Nice, confident, good handstands. Swinging right into this pike somersault forward, catching the bar. Beautiful form.
I'm looking at your old coach working the sidelines. He's keeping himself about 30 feet away because I don't think he wants to distract Stephanie.
Beautiful full
there you
pirouette.
Go. That sets the tone.
That
now,
does set the tone. It puts each person at ease. You know, as more and more athletes hit before you, you get a little bit more at ease and you don't get so anxious about whether or not you might fall. Full pirouette to a beautiful double tuck, and she does stick the landing even though we can't quite see it.
Our CN8 scoring computer has broken this down, and they would actually, as a team, have to score the worst of any of the 6 teams here in order to lose 2nd place. So it's a long shot, particularly after Stephanie sets a good tone. And now Ashley Cooney for the University of Oklahoma on the bars.
Beautiful uprise to handstand, full pirouette. Here's her ginger. Back flip with half twist to catch the bar. Beautiful overshoot to a handstand. Each athlete making sure that they're hitting those handstands. Strong swing into a double front dismount. Opens out a little bit early, but saves the landing.
And safely through now for Oklahoma. It seems to be all downhill. They've avoided disaster and have been very solid here on their last rotation of the competition.
They've now had 4 solid uneven bar routines. Here she does a double front dismount, and you can see she kicks out a little bit too early and has to take that hop backwards to stay on her feet.
Now here is the local favorite, Amanda Hall, who started slowly in front of the home fans, maybe nerves. Let's see how she finishes up the meet.
She has really been coming back strong since bars. Front handspring, halfback layout, very nice.
No, that's what it's all about. And that for Coach. And a great reception from the local New Hampshire fans here as she runs back down the runway.
Leaping for joy.
Yeah, that's very nice. The team aspect of the competition is very enjoyable. Erin Labar, been another very consistent performer for the Sooners in tonight's Northeast Regional competition. And she is the penultimate Oklahoma performer for the evening.
She is a real leader on this team, helping set the tone, and that's a big break right there.
Ooh.
She's going to get definitely a deduction for the extra swing. She didn't hop off the bar, so it won't be a fall.
There's your coach watching, nurturing, making sure it's not disastrous with just one more athlete to perform.
And this will hurt her personally in the all-around, but it shouldn't hurt the team too much. They are allowed to drop a low score. Finishes up with a nice solid double A at dismount, though.
Well, she's not happy about it, and I think you're right. It's the her all-around score that will suffer there. Coming up, we'll recap the final results, see who's in, see who didn't make the field for the Nationals. We'll be back from New Hampshire. Back at the NCAA Regional Championships here on CN8 and the Comcast Network, I'm Lou Tilley along with Shannon Miller. And when you hang out with greats, it rubs off. Your coach with a great night here. Your old coach, I should say.
A fantastic night, of course, starting off on the balance beam. Had a little bit of trouble. You know, Big 12s, they had to count a couple falls. Here they had to count one fall. But they got back on track right away and finished out the competition pretty solid.
Steve, who was Shannon's personal coach for the better part of 17 years, Steve Noonan. I don't mean to date you, but she said early on that the key might have been your first exercise of the night, the beam, and she was on the beam.
You know, it's funny. Shannon's done that to me a few times as well. You know, at Pan American Games, I remember in 1995, Shannon Miller falling off our first skill on the balance beam. We're in Argentina. I'm like, I came all the way down there to watch this, and she came back to win it. And so, you know, those are the things that remind you of what can happen. So gymnastics is always full of surprises.
How did she turn out? Did she rebound pretty well?
She rebounded, won the next 3 events, and won the all-around in that meet, and the team.
give your old coach a question here about his team, Shannon.
Ooh, I get to question you now. No, I just want to know what you're going to do when you go back to, obviously after Big 12s, you guys worked hard on the balance beam. When you go back to the gym on Monday and Tuesday, what are you going to look for to really focus on in these coming weeks before national championships?
Well, you know better than anybody, Shannon, what's going to happen on Monday. You know, we're going to do a lot of balance beam. But, you know, this team, we've been great on beam. It's been our best event in the regular season. And this time, the last 2 competitions we've had trouble there. So I think we've taken beam a little bit for granted. We've tried to pull it back together. But I'll tell you, this team's a fighter. This is the best fighting team to claw their way back and make it to the national championships. Gives us new life.
Steve, we're seen primarily through the Northeast, so it's a homecoming of sorts from you, raised in upstate New York, a lot of time in Rochester, Burlington. Of course, you competed at UMass and in Boston. But you've made Oklahoma your home now for the better part of 20 years. And how do you like coaching in this team atmosphere?
Well, I miss the lobster up here, but other than that, you know, the team atmosphere, that's what I loved about the Olympics the most. Even though I liked you a lot, Shannon, you on the team for the USA, that's what really, you know, gave us the wind in our sail and, you know, helped bring individuals at their best is when you're competing for your team and, you know, nothing else matters. So that's what's really fun in coaching.
Let me ask you both a question, because we've been so impressed, Steve, watching, particularly in the Southeast region now, this great competition that we're seeing because of Title IX and et cetera. Is there more of a drive towards the collegiate ranks for some of Americans' best young gymnasts? Shannon first, go ahead.
Well, I guess it's difficult for me to answer. I was never able to be a college gymnast because I was professional at such a young age. But I do know a lot of my friends that went into gymnastics, and they went because they wanted to go to school. They wanted to get their college paid for, and it worked out really well.
Steve,
I think it's amazing.
Steve, what do you think? Is it bumping up?
Well, I think so. I mean, there's very few professional opportunities like Shannon had when you're an Olympic gold medalist. There's only a couple of them, you know, but for everyone else, there's a great opportunity to get a great education. The college gymnastics programs are just so much more fun, and, you know, it's very rewarding.
I'll tell you, Steve, before we let you go, Shannon and I have done a lot of the friendship meet in Pottsville and the Parkettes and the Brestians in Boston, and it's so good to see all these young women so interested in the sport. Steve, congratulations and good luck in the Nationals.
Thank you very much. It's new life for us, so we're hoping to make that Super 6.
Good luck. We'll be watching.
Thank you, Shannon.
Oklahoma will go to the national finals then with their second place finish. And LSU looks like a contender perhaps for the national championship. Shannon?
Absolutely. They are vying for that top spot. They don't want to be second or third. They want to win nationals. And from the looks of it tonight, they have every opportunity.
And congratulations to the host school, New Hampshire. Climbed out of a big hole and wound up in third place. That's great for the fans that were here tonight. Now, the individual results. The competitors in the vault, a three-way tie for top honors. And the other exercises in bars, Annie Gaillon, who I've been looking forward to mentioning all night. She's from Quebec, Canada. Her parents were both French Canadians, and she went to Baton Rouge. And Emily Peacock and Brittany Konchak. And then on the beam, we missed Vanessa Barrios. She and her sister co-captains at Rutgers, both from the Pocono Mountains in Long Pond. And look at that, Shannon.
Impressive beam.
Balance in the beam, you might say.
First.
And then on the floor, I thought the outstanding performer in the meet, April Burkhalter. Amanda Hall, Phelan, a lot of ties again for top honors here. And the all-around top three, Burkhalter, Cooney, Butler, pretty much stayed to form. So that's it from New Hampshire. CN8 Sports on the Comcast Network has been proud to bring you this elite competition, the NCAA Northeast Regionals, one of 6 regionals leading to the NCAA Finals. Now, for all of us here, I'm Lou Tilley, along with Shannon Miller, thanking you for joining us.